Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Quick second. But you love technology. How are you doing today? Welcome to Frame Drum Friday. I'm really excited for today's training session. I just have to take care of one thing. Thank you for your patience. And then we'll dive in. Okay. Oh, wow, it does the captions. Very cool. Okay. So. Great. Great. So, hi, Tammy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, you finally made it. I know people's schedules are busy. I get it. But I love offering these on Friday because, it's a perfect start to your weekend, and hopefully these trainings will inspire you. So if you're just tuning in, I would love to know where you're watching from. I love meeting everybody. It's one of my favorite things about doing these lives is to get to know people. Of course, it's not in person. We will be doing more in-person events soon, for sure. But for now, we're still online. But, honestly, you can really get to know people through online, and I find that really, really nice. I've gotten to know so many of my students and friends just online, and we all can't wait to meet each other. So, okay. Welcome, welcome. So as people are joining, how about we start with just drumming? Pick up a drum and just play. No, I'm not going to give a lesson yet. I'm just having people join. So if you just want to play, however you want to play. Just feel the beat. Feel the vibration. Okay. So let me just check one thing really quickly. Okay. So let me just check one thing. How do I do this? Sorry. Okay. Can you guys hear me right now? Can I get like a star if you guys can hear me? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Yes? Well, we have people from Florida, Spain. Nice. Oh, you can hear me. Good. Okay, interesting. Okay, Zoom is interesting. I have the sound off on Facebook and I have the sound. Oh, I understand. Okay, great. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Okay, so let's dive back in. So we were starting with just doing some drumming, getting some of the vibration vibe into drumming. So good. Just play along, whatever you want. Into a groove, whatever you want to play. Back to the heartbeat. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are doing these Frame Drum Fridays. This is our third Frame Drum Friday out of 4. And we do these in honor of our Frame Drum Academy courses opening. And they only open one time a year. So, I make a big deal about it because I think the whole world could benefit from the healing medicine of drumming. So, we open up our doors on May 18th. And so, these are created to get you guys inspired to drum. You know, we have these trainings be all levels. So, you know, we have people watching of all different levels. Some of you have never drummed before. And I just think it's fun, you know. So for the past 2 trainings, we've been doing paradiddles. Who here has been practicing their paradiddles? I want to read in the chat how you've been enjoying them. Paradiddles are a rudiment that drummers use on drum sets, but you can also use it on instruments like the frame drum. So they're really, really fun. And you can see below on this page to watch the previous trainings. If you don't know what a paradiddle is, if this is your first one of these Frame Drum Fridays, I highly recommend you checking them out because they're really good to have in your toolbox. So what we're doing here, speaking of toolboxes, is we are creating our toolbox. It's really important to have a toolbox. Your toolbox can have many things. It can have your cacao mushroom latte, not psychedelic. It can have your it can have your rhythms that you want to play. It can have technique. It's good to have these toolboxes so when you find yourself out, whether you're playing by yourself, with your friends, you have inspiration. So this is what I'm in your life for. I'm in your life to give you drum inspiration and help you build your rhythm toolbox. And then what happens is your drums start having babies, and then you need a tool house. So again, if you haven't watched the videos of Frame Drum Frame Drum Fridays first class and the second class, you can find them below on this page. And they're really, really fun. So you can put paradiddles in your improvisations. So at the end of this training today, we are going to use the paradiddles. We're going to explore it again. And it's just so great to see so many people joining. Hello, Gundren. Oh, so glad you're here. Hi, Jessica. Woohoo. All right. Hi, Bonnie. Wonderful. Hi, Kathy. We are really a global community today. So, all right, what we're going to do today, first we're just going to start with warming up the hands. I think it's really important that we, part of our toolbox is learning how to stretch your hands, taking care of your body, because if your body doesn't feel good, you can't do anything. We use our hands a lot. I mean, I'm sure all of us type at least once a day. We do something with typing. Typing is torture for the body if you don't do it correctly. If you spend hours, it's really not good. So the exercises that you use for helping your hands with typing are the same kind of exercises that you use for drumming. And because frame drumming is a very finger-focused drumming, it's really important to take literally 1 minute out of your day to stretch before you drum. So everyone watching, I want you to commit. Promise me you're going to commit before you pick up your drum. I know it's so tempting to just play your drum, right? But before you do, to just stretch your hands. Just do like 1 minute of stretching. So we're going to just start with opening up the hands and really reaching them wide. This is also very good typing stretches for carpal tunnel. Reaching them wide, holding for 10 seconds. Exhale, reaching them wide. Exhale. Do this about 5 times. I can't see you, but I hope you're doing this. This training will be about 20 minutes. So if you guys can do a focused attention for this training for 20 minutes, it will be worth it. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to take your left hand, you're going to hold it. I'm really holding here, and then I'm stretching with my right hand. Now, I prefer to keep my arm in like this. You could put your arm out, but I like the arm in. So you really want to stretch these muscles here. You have so many muscles in your hands. I've been doing a lot of research on hand stretches just because I want us all to be drumming until we're 100. And then stretch the other hand. So you might notice your dominant hand needs it the most. I'm left-handed, so I find that my dominant hand really needs it the most. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to stand up and you're just going to stretch. Just kind of give yourself a little stretch. Inhale, reach up, reach up. And what I'm doing here, I'm inhaling, and then I'm clasping my hands, and then I'm going like this and reaching. Oh, that feels so good. Inhale, and then exhale down. Let's do it again. So inhale, reach. Now this time you're going to grab your left wrist. You're going to inhale and exhale to the right. And what we're doing here is working on these muscles. For our body people watching, I know these muscles have names, but I don't know what they are. I just know it feels good, and I love when I do this in yoga. So I like to bring it to my practice. So we're going to inhale and then exhale, side body stretch. Oh yeah. And then again, inhale up and then exhale, gently pull the opposite arm. Breathe and then exhale, pull a little deeper. Okay, and we'll just do 5 shoulder rolls one way, 3, 4, 5. 5 shoulder rolls the other way, 3, 4, 5. And then my favorite is this one. You're going to inhale, clasp your hands, and the first thing you're going to do is just going to like pop up your chest. Then we're going to exhale and we're going to fold over. So if you have a tender back, you want to make sure your knees are bent. But this is a fabulous stretch for opening up the shoulders. And when we drum, we're doing this, right? So the more we can do the exercises to counterpose the action of the drum, the better, the happier the body is, and the longer that we can practice. So here we go. You inhale. This is the first part. Exhale. Okay. Then the second one, we're going to inhale again, and you're going to fold over. Now remember, you want to bend your knees a little bit. Oh, yeah. And then just let your arms fall over your head. And then let your hands dangle on the earth. And then you're slowly going to come up. They do this a lot in yoga. So if you do yoga, I'm sure you know this. So you can do that a few more times. We're going to start with the drumming now, but you know, look what that took, like 1 minute, and your muscles a little more warmed up, and it's so good for you. So vitamin E, this is your vitamin E, your vitamin exercise. Okay, so today we're going to learn a rhythm that I love called Baladi. Hold on, before I switch, I want to know, people watching, who here stretches before they drum? And if you have a favorite kind of stretch you like to do, I want to encourage you to post it here, because it's fun to learn what other people like to do. Okay. So as you guys post, if you're stretching or not, what favorite stretches you have, we're going to continue on. So the rhythm I'm going to teach you guys today is a really fun rhythm. It's a very a traditional rhythm. You find it in a lot of traditional Middle Eastern music. So you see, my goal is to get you guys to get these traditional rhythms in your toolbox so you can start playing with other musicians, right? Like that play instruments like the oud, and they all learn these songs. They play Middle Eastern music, and these are Middle Eastern rhythms, so you can hang out and play music with them. This is also really a fun belly dance rhythm. So if you have friends that like to belly dance, it's a real fun like jamming rhythm if you have, just want to get together with some friends and jam. So the name of the rhythm is called Baladi. Now, what's really cool about this rhythm is just 2 strokes. So today we're going to learn just 2 strokes. Now remember, there are many more strokes that we play on the frame drum. And when I teach this properly, like in my school, I don't teach a stroke for 3 minutes. I spend a lot of time focusing on your strokes because this is your foundation. So I'm going to teach this super quickly. But if you're completely new, spend some time, going over the strokes. So we're going to play the frame drum, and I think we're going to play it. Maybe we're going to play it in the lap style. I was going to do the freehand, but I think because we're just learning 2 strokes, we're going to just do the lap style. So, so what you're going to do is you're going to, for those completely new, we play the frame drum in 3 styles, right? We have the upright, which is the ancient. This is what the women were playing thousands of years ago in cultures around the world. This is how they were playing. It's beautiful. They were singing and, you know, dancing. And then we play the lap style, which is a more modern way of playing. And this is really fun because you get the sound on your heart, and I really like it because sometimes this is all I need. This is my healing medicine, the balm that I need. And also you get to make music for people. So it's like a double whammy here, you know? So this is the lap style. And then there is the freehand style, which is where we hold the drum between our... And this is great because it's really grounding and you have that nice grounding feeling of playing. And it's also really nice on the body because your hands are really equal. And so do I have a favorite style? Depending on my mood. So today we're going to work with the lap style. So if you don't have a frame drum, you could use a box. Get yourself a box. Find yourself a box. I don't have any boxes here. Oh, you know what else you could use? Here, I have another idea. I did this once in the training. You could use a yoga block. Okay, so if you don't have a box, you can use a yoga block. Okay, and you know you can get frame drums super affordable on Amazon, Remo drums to start with. So yeah, let me just get some footbells. All right. So for my students watching, if you have yourself footballs, go get them because we're going to use them. I really like to incorporate the feet in my playing and teaching because it's, you know, it's really good to learn coordination. And, you know, this is what drum set players do. They use all of the limbs. So let's first learn the technique, and then we're going to get to the rhythm. So what we're going to do is we're going to rest the drum on your non-dominant leg. I'm left-handed, so I rest the drum on my right leg. And what you're going to do is just going to rest your hand up here. Now today we're just learning 2 strokes, and the 2 strokes we're learning have to do with our dominant hand. So right now this is just, we're holding this. We're not going to do anything with this hand today. Unless you're a more experienced player and you want to fill in the rhythm with the variations, you can obviously use this hand. But for the beginners, we're just going to start with the 2 strokes with our dominant hand. Now, you just want to make sure when you're holding this drum that your hand is not touching the head. Okay, so I like to hold the drum more with this part of here. So I don't, because if the hand is touching, the fingers are touching the head, you're going to have a muffled sound. So just make sure when you're holding the drum, you're relaxed and your fingers are not touching. And also you're not doing the chicken arm. We don't do chicken arms. We're chilled, we're relaxed. So the first stroke we're going to learn is the doom stroke, and that is like you're turning a doorknob. And again, I'm left-handed, so the doom stroke is done with your dominant hand. If you are right-handed, please switch. And if you have more experience, you can challenge yourself and try to play this with your non-dominant hand. I like to do that sometimes. So the doom. Make sure your sound is open. Okay, it's not doom. Right? And you play with your thumb. Again, I'm going over these techniques really quickly. I spent a lot more time going over them in my academy. So if you're completely new, just review this video a few times. You don't want to have a brush sound. It's a real clean, open sound. Okay? And then we have the ring stroke here using my ring finger, and this is called tuck. Doom and tuck. Doom, tuck. practicing this, like it's just feel relaxed. You can see in your hands if you're not relaxed, you see tension. I can tell immediately if somebody is not relaxed when they're playing. You know, my goal is that you all can be drumming for hours, feeling good in your body, the fingers don't hurt. So let's go to the rhythm. I actually created a little document for you all, and I will show you. Okay, no, that's weird. That's Facebook. Okay, so let's see here. Why are you not showing this Google Doc? Aha, okay. So this is the name of the rhythm, how it's spelled, and then this is the rhythm. Let's make it a little bit bigger so you all can see it. And yeah, don't worry about the bottom part. Let's just focus on the rhythm. So it goes like this. Okay. Doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. These are rests right here, okay? You can notate rests however you want for this exercise and this practice session. I'm notating it with a line. So it's doom, doom, rest, ta, doom, rest, ta, rest. 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 Now, of course, when we're drumming, we're not saying rest out loud, okay? So now let's practice this rhythm. And let's recite it without saying the rest out loud. So here we go. And doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. 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 Okay, now part about my approach to drumming is I like to encourage my students to get off paper. We call it OP. And I really have a hard time when you're staring at a piece of paper and you're creating music. That's not what music is about. You know, unless you're playing music that is really challenging, classical music, or it's a lot of changes, and of course you need to look at the paper. But when you're playing just one rhythm, I really like to encourage people to get off paper and to memorize the rhythm. Our brains are amazing. So can you guys remember that rhythm that I just taught you just now? I'm going to put it in Facebook right now. I'm going to put it in the chat, not the chat, yeah, in the comments, so you guys can look at it. But I want to encourage you to follow me and not look at the notation. Okay, can we try it? So here we go. Again, to hold the drum right now in the lap style, our non-dominant just holds the drum. And remember, we don't want to have our fingers touching. We want to have our fingers free. And then we have the doom and we have the talk. So the rhythm, doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. Or we'll say with the rest, doom, doom, rest, ta, doom, rest, ta, rest. Doom, doom, rest, ta, doom, rest, ta, rest. Doom, doom, rest, ta, doom, rest, ta, rest. Doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. Doom, doom, rest, ta, doom, ta, rest. Doom, doom, rest, ta, doom, rest, ta, rest. verbose notes. So when I say rest, I'm just placing it. You don't have to do this, but it helps you play in rhythm better to do the little quiet doom, doom, rest, ta, doom, rest, ta, rest, doom, doom. You don't have to do this. Just a fun thing to do if you want. Here, I'm not going to do it. Ta, doom, rest, ta, rest, doom, doom, rest, ta, doom, rest, ta, rest. Now I'm not going to say the rest. Ta, doom, ta, doom, doom, ta, doom, ta, with a little rest in. Rest, ta, rest, ta, rest, rest, ta, rest, rest, ta, rest, ta, rest, and now this is a really beautiful rhythm because it's open. There's a lot of places to put fills in. Sorry, I can't talk and drum. Rest, ta, right? Ta, rest, ta. So I want you guys to play this rhythm along with me, and I'm just going to fill it in. For the more advanced students watching, this is stuff that you can practice. I'm not going to give you examples to actually practice the fill-ins, but I just want to show you that it's possible. And so check it out. So everyone just join me in holding the pattern. Do, do, ta, do, ta, do, ta, do, ta, do, ta, do, ta, that last beat, that last part of it, you can fill in, and that's a great place to put a fill in. So the last beat of the rhythm after the ta is a nice little space. So go like this. Do, do, rest, ta, do, ta, whatever you want to put there. Do, do, ta, do, ta. You can do pop, you can try this if you want. Ta, pa, pa, ta, do, ta, pa, pa, or whatever you want. Triplet. Ta, rush, ta. Or silence. Ta, ta, so it's really fun to take a rhythm and then to fill it in. So if you are accompanying musicians, you don't do a lot of the fillers until it's time for your solo. Okay, so knowing to play the rhythm without fillers in solid time is really, really important. This is your foundation. I gave the fillers for our more advanced students watching because I know we have some of my grads watching, and I want to give you something to work on as well. So it's really important to know where you are in your development as a musician, as a percussionist, as a frame drummer, and to not compare, and say, okay, I'm just starting out. I'm going to work with playing the Baladi, the basic rhythm, really clearly with a metronome, right? Or I've been playing for a few years. I want to fill this rhythm in with all the extra techniques that I know. Okay, only you know where you are. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put foot patterns. We're going to work on our coordination. So this is where if you have footbells, great thing to get. Put them on. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to put the footbell on the downbeat. So that's just the first beat of the rhythm. Okay, so it'd be doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. That's it. We're going to put the footbell right there. Ta. Now if you don't have footbells, you can just, pick up your foot, go like this, pretend footbells. Okay, who's excited? This is a lot of fun. And ideally you're practicing with a metronome when you're doing this. I'm not going to put a metronome on today, but this would be good to use of the metronome. So the first practice with the coordination is to just put the footbells on beat 1. Okay, so doom, doom, ta, doom, ta, doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. There you go. Doom, doom, ta, doom, ta, doom, ta, doom, ta, doom, ta, ta, doom, doom, ta, ta, doom, ta, 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 ta. So Baladi is a 4-beat rhythm, right? Doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. We know it's 4 beats because that's where the it cycles around. Can you guys see that? Doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. Doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. So we just put the footbell on beat 1. Now we're going to put the footbell on beat 1 and beat 3. I don't know if I can do that. Beat 1 and beat 3. So be doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. 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 And doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. Doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. Doom, ta, ta. Doom, doom, ta, ta. Ta, 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 ta. Now we're going to put it on every beat. Okay, so it's what we call it like a 16th note feel. We're not going to worry too much about the musical terms right now, just more the feel. But it'd be doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. 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 Doom, doom, ta, ta. Doom, doom, ta, ta. Doom, doom, ta, ta. Doom, doom, ta, ta. Fun? You guys having fun? All right, so I'm just going to review what I taught you guys. And again, when do you use the footbells? You know, you use the footbells whenever you want. It's good to use the footbells because it provides a different timbre, a different sound. So the frame drums are lower resonance, and then the footbells are this higher pitched, and it's really nice to combine them together. And especially when you're playing with others, if you listen to any percussionist, the drum set player, right? The drum set player has a hi-hat going on. He's always balancing the low end with the high end. So it's a good thing to have in your toolbox, and it's really good for building your inner rhythm, working with the foot coordination with the bells. So I highly recommend it. And so let's just go over the 3 ways that we can put the footbells on this rhythm, the Baladi rhythm. Okay, so Baladi again is a 4-beat rhythm. Doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. Doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. We put the footbell on beat 1. Then we tried an exercise where we put the footbell on beat 1 and 3. And then we did an exercise where we put the footbell on 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's play them all together. And, just relax, just take a moment and enjoy, right? What happens is like you train your body, and then when you're playing, your feet will like remember what to do. They'll be like, oh yeah, Maybe I'll put the footbell here. Right now it's like very cerebral to think about it. But once you practice it for a while, it becomes like second nature. Here we go. Doom, doom, ta, doom. So put the footbell on beat one. Doom, doom, ta, doom, ta. Now, if you want to add some more fillers to this rhythm, if you're more advanced, go for it. Now beats 1 and 3. And and 1 and 3. Now every beat, 4 beats. Here we go. Now, again, if you're more experienced, you can fill in the rhythm like what I'm doing, just having fun. And 2, 2, da, da. Paradiddle. Doom, doom, da, doom, da. Doom, doom, da, doom, da. Doom, doom, da, doom. You can put little paradiddles in there. So it's a really fun rhythm, and you don't need to play it fast. It's a beautiful rhythm that can be enjoyed at a slow tempo. I would play it fast if I filled it in, but we're not working with that right now. We're working on the rhythm without being filled in, and we're working on it at a slower tempo. And it's a beautiful, beautiful rhythm. I mean, can't you see the dancers dancing? Gunjan, can't you see your students dancing to this? We have a dance teacher and dancer watching, so. Anyways, so it's a lot of fun, and your homework is to be able to play this rhythm and to be able to put the footbells on the 3 different speeds. That is for the beginners. Now, for the more intermediate players, your homework is to fill in this rhythm. And, if you guys want to fill it in, maybe putting a little paradiddle, We did this paradiddle, single paradiddle, paradiddle, paradiddle. This was in the first training, number 1, Frame Drum Friday training number 1. Again, you can find that below on the Marla Leigh music page. But anyways, it goes left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right. So you can do ta, 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 left, right, left, left, right, right, da, da, da. Putting paradiddle, paradiddle, paradiddle. Just having fun, let yourself have fun. This is the most important thing, is to find the joy. So, how was that? You guys enjoy? How was the joy? Gunjan, you dance. That's really good to hear. She writes, my students dance the Baladi rhythms. You love it. Beautiful. Peter, to buy ankle bells, I find my ankle bells online. I really like the 3 rows. Oh, sorry, you don't need to see my sneakers. But you see, you can have choices of, can I do this properly in the camera? There we go. So you have choices on the rows. So I like the 3, I like to have 3 rows. So you can't go wrong on Amazon. Just look at the reviews. But I would get the 3 rows because the sound is stronger, and it's nice. It's like a nice tone, a nice complement with the frame drum. I don't like the single ones because the sound isn't that strong. So I like the sounds that are like strong. And so I like either the 2 rows or the 3 rows, but you can find that on Amazon. So, all right. So if you guys are just watching, I'm going to end the video now, but please watch what I did in the beginning because I taught a rhythm, a really fun rhythm. And oh yeah, before I leave, I wanted to invite you all to this really wonderful free training I'm doing. I do all these little things to get everybody excited for the Frame Drum Academy because I really love teaching and I love sharing this knowledge. So, okay, so on May 12th, we are having this wonderful challenge called Ignite Your Drum Passion. And it's really, really cool. Like for 5 days, I give you instructional videos in your inbox. And we have a Facebook group where people post videos. And I give a lot of videos. Just like in the academy, I give a lot of videos. So this is how I learned. My teachers always gave me so much information, and so I teach that way as well. So the training starts on the 13th of May. You do need to sign up before then to get in our system, but it's a lot of fun and it's for all levels. So we're just starting to talk about this now because it's coming up. It's coming up in almost 2 weeks. So that's happening. And then on May 18th, we have our doors opening for our Frame Drum Academy programs. We offer beginner and intermediate programs that are 4 months long. Now that they have almost over 300 videos in each program. Then we have 8 bonus modules, and they really help you become the drummer of your dreams. And we have a fabulous community that I love so much. And we open our doors on the early bird, so that's on the 18th of May. And we have one more Frame Drum Friday, which is next Friday. So you guys have your homework. Your homework is to practice your Baladi rhythm and yeah, have fun, get your family together and it's, Mother's Day is coming up. Summer's here, it's a great rhythm to just hang out with friends and play. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And again, I'll put the link for the mini training above here so you guys can make sure you sign up if you're interested. And yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, and if anybody has any stretches they like to do for their hands, please feel free to share. If you use the computer a lot, these are the same stretches that we would use for drumming. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing for your hands because hand health is so important, yeah, and you are important. So wishing you a beautiful day, everybody, and I will see you next week at our Frame Drum Friday. Bye-bye.